Hello and welcome back to our Planet Coaster 2 career mode. In the last episode, we finished up the Garden of Edith, and now we're heading on to the last scenario of Chapter 3 Twisting Tracks, the Fabled Fjord. So let's go ahead, we'll get everything switched over to the hard mode, and let's jump in.
Good. Now that everyone is here, I present to you this beautiful landscape.
I've always wanted to visit a fjord. Such a magical location for a park. It feels like something straight out of the Norse legends.
The reality here might be slightly different, though. As you can see, it hasn't been well maintained, so it's in a bit of a mess. But fear not. We'll have this place looking like the Viking heartland of your dreams in no time.
You're right. I can see the potential. The mountains look like a giant itself slumbers underneath. I can definitely share this with the Foundation and pitch it as a further extension of our Norse branch, as long as we can make it a success. No pressure, of course.
Ha! We here at Coaster Coast thrive on such a challenge. We will restore this beauty and showcase Mother Nature in all her glory.
Okay, so Fabled Fjord. Enter the overwhelming majesty of the mystical Nordic landscape. At least it would be overwhelmingly majestic if it had been if it had been cared for better. There's only one thing to do: restore the land to its former Viking glory and build a park that Mother Nature would be proud of. So, yeah, this is a pretty big land. We've got a lot of stuff that we can build, and there are some restrictions here. Wow. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that we can do. But we have to purchase land to start. Or is this the only bit of land that we own? Wow, that's not a lot. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to. Ooh, sorry about that. We're gonna have to purchase some land here, but that's fine. Uh, let's see what our objectives are for the bronze medal here. We have 70% of guests in a good mood, but we have to have at least 300 guests in a park. So I think that's fair. Scenery value of 1.25. I think that'll be easy. And then we have to own 2 plots of land. So we have to purchase those 2 plots of lands that we saw. Um, yeah, I imagine we're gonna have to take some loans out. We're gonna have to worry about money like we didn't in the last one. And we can take $10,000 so far. That's not too bad. We're obviously going to try and hold off on that a little bit. But, man, how do they expect... Man, this is going to be an interesting start. I imagine the beginning to this is going to be difficult. But we have some tricks up our sleeves. So we'll jump into a time lapse. We'll see what we can get. Obviously, we're going to have to build um, some flat rides, and then we'll see where we end up.
Ha! If it isn't my two favourite Newtons.
Sorry we're late, but we wouldn't miss this project. Besides, Eugene wouldn't shut up about it.
Oh, my word, Brad. He's just joking. Ignore him, please.
Well, I'm glad you're both here. What do you think of the park so far?
Yeah, I've got to say, it's pretty sweet. Look at all these trees. And the water.
It's rather beautiful, isn't it? In Norse culture, nature was sometimes thought to hold signs of their gods. I think we can really do something here to help our guests feel this way too. Bring an ethereal feel to the park.
All right, so there we have it. We have completed the bronze objectives, and you might have noticed that that was a little odd. There was a little bit of a weird cut there at the end, and that's because I made a mistake when I was recording this. I had my headset off, and I was just building, and you know, this building, we placed this building down, and we immediately completed all three objectives. We had a couple of these done, or these other two done before that, but we completed the scenery value. And because I had my headset off, the mic was sitting right by the ear rest. So the audio of them speaking, going through the dialogue, was duplicated and it was just awful. So I decided to. We're still in the first save file here, but I went back through and I actually did the exact same thing. I saved this as two separate blueprints, built it in, and let it complete it so I could record the dialogue again. So that's why you have that. Why it might look slightly different than the real one that we're doing here because I didn't move everything exactly into the same position. But this is what we've got so far. So yeah, I kind of wish I would have caught it so we could have ridden some of this beforehand. We do need to actually change this to 1 second. But we're going to take a quick ride on this in chase. Whoa! Getting launched out of there. I kind of really like this. It's just kind of exists there. And then obviously we have our lazy river here as well, which really kind of brought everything up to where we needed to. It also increases the capacity, which means we were able to close this one and make it a true exit pool and then have people swim around in there. But moving on to our silver objectives, we have to have one coaster with at least 3 inversions. park rating of 2, which will complete itself automatically, and then own 5 plots of land. And we can only purchase, let's see, we already own 2, so we need to purchase 3. So we'll probably be purchasing this one, and one of the other 2. So we'll jump into that time lapse, and I'll see you when I'm done. All right, so we did quite a bit here. Um, you can see we built our coaster, which is just the drop coast vertical drop coaster here with the stall at the top. It does have three inversions. It is a little janky. Uh, wasn't my best coaster. It's also a very small coaster, but it's doing the job, so I'm pretty pleased with it. We also went ahead and we purchased this land here, the Virgin Jordan. We had also purchased the Vanilla Fjord, and then we're going to purchase. I guess we could do either one of these. I feel like this one kind of opens us. There's no water in that. More restrictions here. I think we're still going to do the Kongolig Fjord, and that's going to complete our objectives. Um, so before we do that, we will go ahead. We'll take a ride on our coaster. Oh yeah, I did also build the Power Forge, which is one of my blueprints. We just kind of customized it to this whole little area here. And then we built the teacups, which is an in-game one that everyone should have. But let's go ahead. We'll take a quick ride on this, and then we'll buy that last piece of land and see what they say. Also, not sure where the best would be for this, so we're going to try look forward. All right, there we have it. Pretty pretty straightforward coaster. Nothing out of the ordinary. Almost a 6 excitement, which is a lot better than I thought it would be for being as small as it is. But it does everything that we need it. And yeah, I also messed around with some of the staffing because I'm trying to learn how to use that for when we do the challenge mode series. So yeah, you might see some notifications pop up for that. But we're gonna go ahead. We'll purchase this Kong Kongolig Fjord. No pools can be placed, but let's see what they say.
Whoa! Check out the gigantic progress we're making. It's really coming to life.
Did you know the Norse believed that mountains were formed from the bones of a giant?
Boy, do I. It's such an epic story. Eugene read it to me when we were kids. The stones were the giant's teeth. The clouds were his brain. The sky, his skull. Even the water was meant to be his blood. Well, actually, I don't like to think about that last one. Kind of ruins my day-to-day, you know. That reminds me, we need to build more pools here. Water pools, with water in them.
All right, so silver objectives complete. We have 709 guests in the park. The raft flume is our most popular attraction, and that thing is just cranking people through. But let's see what our gold objectives are going to be. Build a pool with a minimum area of 3,500 meters squared. Have 70% of guests in a good mood. We have to have 2,100 guests in the park. And then we also need to own 8 plots of land. So we have quite a bit of work to do, and our loan is not in the greatest condition at the moment. We still have $6,000 left, so that is going to take up quite a bit yet. We're going to need to make some money here in order for us to try and build And actually, we just need to build. We just need to build a pool. Let's get a baseline. Let's see how big. Not that. Swimming pool 2 is not very large. So this next pool is going to be massive. Probably do some type of wave pool. I don't know if we're going to do another lazy river. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. Obviously, we purchased this land out here, and we can't put pools in it. So that's annoying. But we can put pools out here. That's very far away, though. We can put pools over here, but we cannot put rides there. We cannot put rides on Dronning Fjorden. We can't put pools out in the Fjord. That's $60,000 too. So that's what's that though? That's a cool little area. There's a lot of cool little areas out here. So yeah, so Mystic Fjord is definitely going to be one that we're going to purchase. We're probably just going to try and find cheaper ones. So probably the Jigetter Fjord, and then the Entatre Fjord. Those are probably going to be the 3 that we purchase because that'll get us what we need. And then yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do for pool. Maybe we'll do more pools up on this side because I think that would be cool, especially since we're restricted here anyway, and we can only build water back here. So this could be like a big portion of the water park, and we can use up some of this dead space here to get the path up, so we can do that. So and it's gonna have to be massive because we need a lot of people in here. So we're gonna have to build some water slides and a whole bunch of stuff. We might actually just clear this out because I don't think that's gonna matter all that much. But we'll see what we come up with. I am gonna have to fast forward and make a little bit of money first. I'll probably mess around with the staffing, see if I can hopefully not mess that up any worse. But we'll jump into that time lapse here in a second. Okay, so that took a lot longer than I anticipated. We made a bunch of slides and a huge pool. Just took a lot longer than I anticipated, but we got our pool with the I can't remember if it's 3,200 feet or whatnot. We got that done with this thing just by building in a lazy river that kind of goes out. It's kind of a weird pool. You got the wave pool in the middle, and then if you want to get into the lazy river, you got to go into the deep end. So I think that's pretty funny. Or take one of the slides, and then hopefully you don't get stuck in this area. Uh, we got 70% of guests in a good mood, where we needed 2,100 guests. So we had just gotten that, and now we need to own a plot of land, which we have $45,000. So that will complete itself. But let's go ahead. We'll take a ride on these flumes, and some of them are pretty interesting. Maybe we can get here. Nope, we do not want that guy. What about this guy? Nope. Okay. All right, we're gonna have to. There we go. Definitely did not see Big Rock here. So we'll go ahead and move Big Rock. So that's not an issue anymore. These were the first two slides that we built, and of course, this is going to be. This is the hitboxes on these people. What the heck? No, no, I don't want to. No, let me get the person in front. Okay, let's try it here. There we go. Some of these slides are definitely a little more intense. This slide was really interesting because there's two different sequences that come out of it. So you see how this guy was really slow coming out of it? And then this guy just flies out. So I had to make sure that there was enough space that we were going to be able to have people ride that safely. So yeah, this one's an interesting one. Ooh, let's. No, somehow we. Man, getting onto these slides. I know I can. I know I can get onto the slide and like ride it, but the experience is different. I didn't like it. So here we go. We got a slow version of this, and then of course we come to the big drop, which is pretty interesting. And we'll see a guy go flying past us there, getting real close to us. So that's interesting. And there we are, into the pool. And of course, we had to do another family raft ride. This one we will just do. We're just gonna do chase here. Or does it look forward? Oh yeah, yeah. It is definitely chase that we want to do. Clearly, I did not make this go fast enough. Because in a good one of these, you would actually circle this twice, at least twice. This just literally comes around and then just drops down in. So we've got the effect of the big special piece, but just kind of slow and not that exciting. And then of course we have our giant uh, body slides here that of course we had to put in. So let's get on these. I kind of wish we could make the runoff a little bit longer, but that is not an option. There we go. And then, of course, the drop slide here. I'm pretty sure this person is going on here. And just a straight drop into the run out. So, yeah, a ton of slides, a lot of people in this area. I mean, this one is just insane with how busy it is. And then I decided to stop building water slides because I didn't think we were getting enough boost for those, and I decided to go back to some flat rides. So we did do a Planet Coaster themed, I forget whatever this is called, Sunflare. And the idea is, I ran out of Vikings themed uh, blueprints, so we just did the Planet Coaster because this would be like a split point. So Viking would end here, and then it goes into mythology here, and then if we need to, maybe it'll do like resort or aquatic theme over here. But of course, the mythology theme, I thought there were more blueprints for the mythology theme, so I don't think that's true anymore. Because I don't want to reuse attractions, but we got these three in, and that's what got us over the 2100. As well as using, not loans, advertisements, wherever that is. So we got the Viking Sightseers running, and it's just bringing in a whole bunch of people here. So that helped us get the number of guests that we have. We have a little bit of a Viking area with just random blueprints splashed all around. And now we just need to buy a plot of land. So I think what we're going to do is probably buy Fabled Fjord, and we'll see what they say.
The trees here are beautiful. They blend so seamlessly among the Viking inspired designs. In Norse mythology, there was a giant ash tree known as Yggdrasil. They thought of it as a sacred tree, the tree of life that encompassed all 9 realms within its branches and roots.
Man, their stories were so cool. Being a Viking would have been the best.
Actually, Brad, not all Norsemen were Vikings. Being a Viking was more of a job, like you being a water ride engineer.
Hmm. I wonder if they had ride engineers back then too, with a huge tree like Yggdrasil. They could have built some awesome stuff. Can you imagine? A giant water slide looping all around the branches, the twists, the turns. Oh, I'm actually getting dizzy thinking about it. I'm gonna sit down for a minute. You all carry on without me.
And there we go. Gold objectives complete. And let's take a look at the objectives that we have. So have a flume. I don't know if there's more to that. I assume there's probably some type of restriction. Maybe it's some type of height, which we might have eclipsed with one of these body slides, or maybe it's a special piece or something along those lines. So we've already completed that, so we don't need to worry about that. Have 3 coasters with at least 6 excitement and set them to open. Own 13 plots of land, so that's quite a bit. And then, of course, the one that always gets us, the park rating of 4.5. And just keeping an eye on park rating so far. Scenery rating is the challenge in this scenario. You have to put in a lot of different pieces. Some work better than others. So, and I don't think duplicating things works very well. So, we've got quite a bit of work to do. The good news is the park reputation's 4.5. So we are killing it in that aspect. Our attraction prestige is awesome. And then our unique attractions, we're going to get another star here in the next coaster that we build. And of course, it's probably going to be 3 or 4, so we'll probably have a flat ride in there to make sure that that gets up to 5. And then we just need to get our scenery rating way up there. So I'm thinking this last part might be pretty simple. Obviously, we're going to have to make a lot of money as well. But we will jump into the time lapse and see where this takes us. All right, so here we are. We did quite a bit of work here. We expanded three completely different areas. So we got our mythology area that we kind of expanded on. We expanded on our Planet Coaster theme area, and then we added an aquatic area with some random Viking waterfalls in the background. And yeah, we were able to complete our three coasters that needed the six excitement. We still need to own one more plot of land, which obviously we have plenty of money to do that. And we even got our park rating of 4.5. It's at 4.6 right now. Scenery rating went way up because of us just spamming different blueprints throughout the that are in the game already. So our park reputation 4.3. That's pretty okay. But yeah, our coasters that we built, pretty pleased with them. Um, Definitely just added a bunch of random stuff around, but let's go ahead. We'll take a ride on a couple of them, or all three of them, and then we'll buy that last plot of land and see how they did, or see what they have to say. Not sure what's going on here. It's waiting for people at 110 seconds. So yeah, so I'll fast forward to when this takes off. All right, pretty quick and simple launch coaster. Definitely didn't see that that tree was in the way, but that's fine. Now this next one, this wooden coaster, this is maybe my favorite one that I built here. Um, I really like the way it came together. So let's take a ride on this one. Just non-stop airtime on this thing. Here are the stats on this. Yeah, really, just a good coaster, green across the board there. So, yeah, one of my favorite ones that I've built so far in this game, and I haven't built a lot of wooden coasters. And then, of course, we did one more launch coaster. This racing themed coaster in the Planet Coaster area. Yeah, so pretty pleased with this one too. Um, Something just quick, simple, low to the ground, decent speed. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And then of course, I do like this aquatic area. Just kind of throwing a bunch of stuff in there. It just packs a whole lot in. So I like the way I organized it a little bit better than some of the others. But we should probably take a look at these statistics here. This is probably the best coaster in the park based on statistics. So, but anyway, let's go ahead. Let's purchase the last piece of land over here for $60,000.
Our guests are finally witnessing the beauty of nature. I think it's safe to say the Foundation will be in awe when they see it.
Yeah, we've really hit it out the park here. Big props. Especially considering how big this place is.
I'd say it's about time for us to set sail. Another venture awaits.
Ooh, can we use the longship? I've always wanted to sail a longship.
And there we have it. The platinum objectives complete. Yeah, I kind of like this scenario. I didn't like how you had to just spam scenery here at the end to get that scenery object or scenery rating up, and it's still at a 4.7. There's other parks where I did maybe half the theming and pieces, and I've got that up to a 5. So maybe that's something they updated with the most recent update that came out here. So, but nonetheless, it does kind of make sense where it's at. But I hope I'm not going to have to just spam scenery as we move through some of these next scenarios. Um, but anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you saw something I could have done better, let me know in the comments section. And if you want to see some more awesome Planet Coaster 2 content, please subscribe to the channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.